Hi, everyone, and welcome to Friday, May 22nd's Daily Self Check-In. Today, we're going to practice two different exercises. When we were talking on Wednesday, we talked a little bit about grounding back into the moment. And one of the things, at least I find helpful, is when you can find something that you can do fairly quickly to do that. Sometimes sitting back and meditating or practice a mindfulness exercise can take a couple minutes, if not more. So one of the exercises that I have is maybe just a minute or so, maybe a little longer depending on where you're at, but an easily accessible way, I think, to remind ourselves to touch base with ourselves and refocus in the moment. And then the second thing that we're going to practice today is a progressive muscle relaxation, to see if we can reconnect with our body, kind of work out any tense spots that might be there and see if we can shift our experience in the moment. So to start with, you can have your eyes open, or I guess, nope, you're going to need your eyes open for this. Let me not even suggest to close them, as you'll need them for a second. So wherever you're at right now, see if you can just check in with yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being things feel very overwhelming or stressful, kind of high intensity, whatever that is for you. And a 0 or a 1 would be like pretty low intensity, feeling chill, content, whatever you want to anchor that to. And right now, just check in with yourself and see where you fall on that scale. Cool. So then let's try, and if you're in I don't know what spaces you're in, of course. If you're in a space where, as we practice this, you can actually say things out loud, do that. If you're in a space where maybe saying things out loud randomly is not going to work, feel free just to keep them to yourself, and we'll see how it goes. So in this moment, either to yourself or out loud, if it's available to you, name to yourself or out loud 5 things you can see. Then name 4 things you can physically feel right now. And some of us want to go to pain or anxiety or stress. See if you can move more towards concrete things, like I feel my hands on my lap. I feel my feet on the floor. See if you can name 4 of those things right now. See if you can now name 3 things you can hear in your space. See if you can now switch to seeing if you can smell 2 different things. Are there 2 different smells you can pay attention to? Sometimes you gotta shift around and see if you can smell things. And then 1 thing that you can taste, whether that's just what your mouth tastes like in this moment, if you're eating something while you're practicing or drinking water, 1 thing that you can taste. And if you can, again, say it out loud. Now circle back to that check-in we did and see if your number has shifted at all. It may have, it may not have. See where your attention might be as you were practicing that exercise. And check in with yourself. Were you thinking about things in the future or the past? Or in these couple moments where we were trying to reconnect with our senses, were we in the moment? As always, some of these exercises feel like they work really well for some people, and others are like, oh, that was a miss. That didn't work for me. So this is a quick exercise that I often do with myself trying to reground my senses, and I encourage folks that I work with to practice to see if it helps them just reset, bring themselves back into the moment in a fairly quick way. Okay. So we're going to now shift our attention from that check-in with ourselves to a little bit more of a longer practice. So for this one, again, in your space, find the space that's appropriate. You can sit, you can stand. This one you can lay down. Find a spot in a chair, on the floor, anywhere that feels like you can be comfortable in that space for a little while. And what we're going to try to do with a progressive muscle relaxation is shift our attention to different parts of our body and muscle groups by tensing and relaxing. And if you're able to, as we practice, you can also imagine kind of the movement moving from one spot to another in your body, allowing some release as we go. As always, with all of our practices, if something doesn't feel good, if it's just not something you can access today, please don't push yourself. That's fine. Your body's telling you something. Do what feels available to you, and always shift out of something that just doesn't feel good. Move to a position that might feel a little bit better. All right, so let's just start by focusing our attention and seeing if we can shift from the external world into the internal world and focusing on our body. That might just include checking in from the tip of your head to the toes on your feet and just taking a second to notice what your body's telling you today. And even as you're checking in, if you notice a tense spot, shift, change, move, see if you can release a little bit. And as you let your attention move through your body slowly, when you're done, feel free to rest that attention back on your breath. See if you can take a deep breath in through your belly and hold it for a couple seconds and exhale slowly. Working on tuning into that breath, noticing the stomach as it rises and falls, noticing your lungs as they fill and exhale with air. Slowing that breath down just a bit, making the breaths a little bit longer. As you continue to focus on your breath, notice if your thoughts are shifting or moving. If they are, that's okay. Gently invite them back to your breath. And as you exhale, see if you can imagine the tension in your body flowing out of your body. Inhale and exhale. Feeling your body relax. If your thoughts wander or you notice an emotion popping up, gently notice it and then invite yourself to come back to your breath. Breathing in, holding it for just a count or two, and then releasing, feeling the tension flow out of your body. As we move through the next steps, keep in mind that your breath is your grounding. Keep breathing. As we practice, I'll gently remind you to do so. But now we're going to move to focusing on the muscles in our forehead. So in our forehead, see if you can raise your eyebrows as high as you can and hold that with me, and I'll let you know when to release. See if you can just hold that. And release. Feel that tension fall away on your forehead. And for a couple seconds, just notice that difference. What does your forehead feel like now? All right, now let's see if we can smile as wide as we can, feeling your mouth and cheeks tense. See if you can really hold that smile and feel all those muscles around your mouth, and just hold that. And then release those muscles, softening the muscles of your face. Just notice the difference between the tension of those muscles and your release. A reminder to keep breathing. Big deep breaths in, and on the exhale, releasing any tension that you're noticing. Let's now shift to our eye muscles. So see if you can squint your eyelids shut as tight as you can. Of course, we don't want you to be in pain, but as tight as you can, that feels okay. And hold those eyes shut for the next couple of counts, and I'll let you know when to release them. And release that. Just notice the difference. Remember to keep breathing. Breathing in and out. Allowing the tension to leave with the exhale. Now see if you can pull your neck back, of course, whatever feels comfortable, and stretch your head and look towards the ceiling. See if you can feel the tension in your neck muscles. And hold that for a second or two. And then relax. Notice the difference. Continuing to breathe. Noticing the way that the muscles feel as we contract and then release them. See now if you can let the weight of your neck move towards your chin and feel the tension in the back of the neck. And just hold that for a count or two. As always, nothing that feels uncomfortable. Keep breathing. And you can release that. Just noticing the difference between your muscle states. And make sure you keep breathing in and out. See now if you can clench your fists as tight as you can without causing pain, and hold those for the next couple counts. And just notice what that tension feels like. And then you can release your hands and your fingers. Just notice that difference. And keep breathing in and out. See if you can now try to tense the bicep, or kind of make the muscle where you can feel that top arm muscle contracting and feel it tight, and just hold that for a couple counts. And then release that muscle. See if you can notice any difference between those two muscle states. Continuing to breathe. Just noticing what the body is sharing with you. See if you can tighten your tricep, which usually looks like just putting your arm out pretty straight. Seeing if you can get that bottom arm muscle. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, it's fine. Just see what you notice, and hold that for a couple counts. And release. Just noticing the difference. Noticing what your arms feel like. It's available to you. Lift your shoulders up towards your ears and see if you can feel the difference when you call to those muscles and have them activate a little bit. What does that feel like for you? And just hold it for a couple counts. And release that. Feel the heaviness when you release that one. And continue to breathe. See if you can pull your shoulders back so that your shoulder blades are kind of trying to touch each other, and see what it feels like to activate those muscles right now. And just hold that for a few counts. And relax, noticing what it feels to kind of sit up straight and relax then afterwards. If it's available to you, see if you can move to the muscles in your stomach. Even if you're sitting or standing, you can kind of pretend like you're doing a sit-up. You don't have to do a whole sit-up, but that way you'll feel some of the muscles in your belly area. And see if you can just hold those muscles for a couple counts. And release. Just noticing the difference between those two states. Notice what the top half of your body feels like after letting go of the tension and the stress. Let's move to our butt area, if it's available to you, and see if you can tighten your butt muscles. Holding those for a couple of seconds. And then releasing. Imagine those muscles falling loose, kind of the pelvic area loosening up and the tension releasing. Keep focusing on your breath. If it's available to you, tighten your thighs. Sometimes folks like to just lift their legs up if they're sitting in a chair, or bring their knees together as if you were holding like a penny between them. Whatever way is available to you, see if you can tense those muscles for just a couple counts. And relax and release. See if you can now flex your feet if that's available to you. Pulling your toes towards you and kind of activating what might be your calf muscle area. See if anything happens there and just hold that. And relax, noticing the difference. Feeling the stress or the tension drop out of the body. If it's available to you, see if you can kind of curl your toes or tense your toes like we did with our fists. And hold those for a couple counts. And release. Remember to keep breathing and just noticing what your body is sharing with you. See if you can imagine a wave of relaxation slowly spreading through your body, beginning at the top of your head, working its way down through all the muscles we explored, into your shoulders and arms, down through your fingers, down through your spine, into your hips, down through your legs, into your knees, down through your legs, into your ankles, and out through your toes. Take a second just to notice the weight of your relaxed body in this time, continuing to notice your breath. I then invite you to see if you can slowly come back into the space. Perhaps wiggling your toes or your fingers, opening your eyes. Again, slowly taking in some of the things that you can hear in your space. Different colors you see in the room around you. Things you might be able to smell or taste. And then move or shift anything that feels like it needs to be moved after our practice today. I thank you all for joining us on this Friday self-check-in. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. My email is my name, hayleyv@howardbrown.org. Just as a note, we will not be having a session on Monday as the agency is closed. So we'll have another self-check-in on Wednesday. And Ray will be back to facilitate that one. We look forward to seeing you, or not seeing you, but practicing with you, perhaps that's a better word, practicing with you more next week. And I hope you find moments of peace from now till then. Thank you.